Good morning and welcome to WGRZ Plus. I'm Pete Gallivan, and we are getting some new details this morning about a deadly crash in the town of Lockport. It happened just after 6:30 last night on Ridge Road. Deputies say a vehicle was westbound when it went off the road, hit a culvert, and rolled over several times. Now, the driver, an 83-year-old man from Cheektowaga, and his 73-year-old female passenger from Williamsville, both died at the scene. The cause is still under investigation. We have an update on a story we first brought you on Daybreak. It involves teenagers allegedly stealing a vehicle, pointing a gun at a police detective, and leading officers on a chase through western New York. Here's what we know. Buffalo police got word around 9 o'clock Tuesday night about a car stolen in Tonawanda. A Tonawanda officer who tried to stop the suspects said they pointed a gun at him, then drove off. Buffalo police helped track them down and chase them to a home on Manhart Street. 4 people got out, tried to run away. 1 was taken into custody on Manhart, and police say the person was in possession of a Glock 19 pistol. Another suspect was found hiding under a parked vehicle on Alma Avenue. A third suspect was found hiding in a garbage can with a handgun on Shrek Avenue. The 4th suspect was not caught. Police say the individuals arrested are a 15-year-old and 2 17-year-olds from Buffalo. The federal death penalty case against top smash shooter Peyton Gendron is moving toward a fall trial. Both sides are working through jury selection after thousands of questionnaires were sent out to potential jurors. Yesterday, the defense asked for a closer look at certain responses before people could be excused, including out-of-state students, caregivers, and small business owners. The judge agreed those individuals should be brought in for in-person review, but drew the line at healthcare workers, excusing doctors, nurse practitioners, and medical students who said jury duty would disrupt patient care. The next case status conference is set for May 21st. Police in Amherst are investigating a deadly stabbing that happened yesterday before noon on Drayden Lane, just off of Niagara Falls Boulevard. Officers say they found a man with a stab wound to his upper body. He was taken to DeGraff Hospital, where he later died. Police are asking for anyone with information to reach out to them. The Erie County District Attorney is revealing new charges against a man who was shot by Buffalo police. Investigators say DeJuan Williams could spend life in prison for allegedly robbing a 7-Eleven, shooting a store clerk, firing at an officer, and leading police on a chase in a stolen car. This all happened on Prospect Avenue the night of April 15th. The 42-year-old was arraigned on a 12-count indictment yesterday at ECMC, where he is still recovering after police returned fire, shooting him in the arm. Williams faces multiple charges, including attempted murder, assault, and robbery, among many more. The DA commended the officers for how they handled the incident, adding that the officer was found to be justified for shooting Williams.
This thing developed very, very quickly. As I indicated, I think the officers, responded professionally and carefully in a potentially very dangerous situation. They acted very bravely, and you are 100% correct that this could have been a much worse outcome for a lot of different people.
And Williams faces up to 20 years to life in prison if convicted. There is a new plea for answers in the disappearance and death of a 12-year-old named Jalen Griffin. Family members, community activists, and leaders renewed their calls for justice on what would have been his 18th birthday yesterday. His body was found in the attic of a house on Sheffield Avenue in South Buffalo back in April of 2024. That was 4 years after he went missing. Loved ones are calling for the FBI to take a more active role and increase the Crime Stopper reward from $7,500 to $25,000.
The most important thing that we're looking for is justice. Nothing else, no less, no more. It's been a long time.
But how can you go and get information if you don't have an incentive or an initiative? $25,000 will make somebody remember something.
Acting Police Commissioner Craig Macy tells 2 on Your Side that the department continues pursuing leads and that publicly sharing updates is limited because of the ongoing investigation. Firefighters in Dunkirk have unanimously voted no confidence against the city's mayor and attorney. It comes after what the firefighters union calls a troubling pattern of leadership failures that undermine public safety and increase financial risk to taxpayers. The union accuses the mayor of withholding contractual benefits without negotiation and that it's been working without a contract since the end of 2024. We have reached out to the mayor for a response, and we're still waiting to hear back. Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz is going to deliver his State of the County address today. It's set for 4:15 at Shays Performing Arts Center, with doors opening at 3:30. The county also plans to live stream the address on its YouTube channel. The annual speech highlights past successes, future priorities, and the challenges ahead for Erie County. And this is the first road game in the Sabres playoff series against the Bruins. You can bet here at home there's going to be a lot of ways to watch all around Western New York. Daybreak's Natalie Foss has more from Lancaster with one more on a big event happening for fans in Lancaster. Good morning, Natalie.
There are plenty of Sabres watch parties popping up all around Western New York, and the Village of Lancaster wanted to join in on the Sabres fun. They're calling it Hockey Night in the Village. It's happening right here on West Main Street. There's going to be a watch party for the game tonight. They say it'll have a very similar format as their Bills watch parties have had in the past. The street will shut down at 5:30 tonight, and there'll be a big screen put up to watch when the puck drops at 7. If you're attending, they're encouraging you to bring your own lawn chairs or blankets to sit on and to arrive early, as businesses and restaurants will be open to check out, do some shopping, or grab some dinner and drinks before and during the game. The Lancaster Village Merchant Association tells us that they wanted to give people a chance to experience the excitement together.
We're hearing a lot of feedback just from the community at large about how exciting it is for them to be back after 15 years of the playoff drought. A lot of people are getting excited about it. You can see that pretty much all over the place. But, you know, we talk in the village all the time. The merchants gather together and say, what more can we do, you know, to serve the community and have them come out and enjoy? So we see a lot of it.
We asked him how this event will be different than others held around town, and Todd says that this will be a very family-friendly atmosphere, perfect for people of all ages. Other watch parties that are popping up around town are the Saberhood Watch Party. That's at Mister's in East Aurora. There'll also be a watch party at the Seneca Niagara Resort and Casino, but that is a 21-plus party. So if you're planning on finding a place where you and your family can go, especially young kids, then you might want to check out Hockey Night in the Village here in Lancaster. On your side in Lancaster, Natalie Foss, Channel 2 News.
All right. Thank you very much, Natalie. And that might be the winner, Patrick, because that one's going to be an outdoor event. And it's going to be absolutely spectacular around dinner time for that pregame and into the first period, right?
I believe so. It should be very nice, too. And also looking ahead to next week. So the Sabres play tonight, Sunday, and then back here in Buffalo on Tuesday, I believe.
Yes.
And Tuesday, by the way, is looking rather wet. So having some outdoor experiences before a Sabre game, we might have to rely on the next two games that happen to be away for that, because when they return, it's going to get wet again around here. Also cooler. This is the forecast into next week. A large area of cooler than normal weather setting in across the center part of the country and extending into the eastern lakes as well. And this actually goes out about 2 weeks. So temperatures are going to be far from warm around here in the coming days. It'll be pleasant, but just nothing really warm coming. We do have some rain coming. It looks like about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch of rain arrives on Saturday. Early Saturday morning through the early afternoon, we're going to see a rainy start to the weekend. I know the timing isn't great, but that's what we got. Skies are clear currently, and they'll stay that way outside of a few high clouds. And dry weather expected again today and tomorrow. Tomorrow may feature a little more in the way of some additional cloud cover, maybe a little isolated shower for the hills of the southern tier. But the main rain on the plain, not in Spain, will be here. And it'll be here in Western New York on Saturday. Here's Saturday morning. It's wet. And then I still think showers could be continuing even into the afternoon before it dries out Saturday night and into Sunday. And again, we're thinking 1/2 inch, 3/4, maybe some spots up to an inch of rain. Sunshine today with temperatures in the 60s. Tomorrow, a light easterly breeze will cool things down. Batavia, Niagara Falls, Buffalo, but more of a southerly wind across the south will make for temperatures in the 60s to around 70 tomorrow. Sunny skies today, 66. Tonight, mainly clear, 43. And then for tomorrow, 58 for Buffalo, but 68 for Olean. 7-day forecast. There's the wet weather on Saturday, dry weather Sunday into Monday, another round of rain Tuesday. Okay, that'll occur Tuesday with a few showers lingering, Pete, into Wednesday.
All right, very good. Stay with us. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back to talk a little more Sabres. It is 9:12 now, and the Sabres woke up in Boston this morning. They're probably headed into the rink, getting ready for Game 3. It's important to look back now on the first two games, specifically what worked and what didn't. Now, our analysts tell us, well, our analysts don't have to tell us this. I saw it myself. Physicality. That was the team that played more of the body, and they came out on top in both games. The Sabres, Game 1, had a season-high 53 hits. They won the game. Then Game 2, the Bruins out-hit them 32-30. The Bruins won that one. The most glaring issue, though, is the continued struggles on the power play. The Sabres haven't scored a goal in any of their 9 attempts in this series. In fact, they haven't scored an extra man goal since March 31st, going 0 for 31 over that stretch.
Power plays are huge, obviously, in the playoffs, and we got to find a way to put one in and just be better next game.
You look at the Quinn one-timer where he misses. Basically, I thought half an open net. There was 2 or 3 other good opportunities that would give us a lead in the game and put you in a better place. We miss plays that we don't normally miss, and that part of that was our puck play wasn't as good as the previous game.
All right, tonight's puck drop is at 7 o'clock. It's the physicality. You look at the body check numbers. It's not only the checks. It's kind of a reflection of how hard you're going in those one-on-one battles. When the puck's on the wall and 2 guys are battling for it, who's coming out with it? The guy who's more physical, typically. And that's Tuesday's game. That seemed to be the problem with the one-on-one battles. They were losing them. The other thing, in my opinion, is they've got to keep an eye on that Bruin player who keeps sneaking out of the zone behind them.
Oh, and getting the breakaways?
They've given up, I think it's 4 breakaways and probably a half a dozen odd man rushes coming out. And luckily, UPL was able to to stop the 3 of the breakaways they scored on a partial breakaway. But that puts so much pressure on your goaltending and on your back end. And plus, it tires out the defenseman who's got to chase him down now.
Right.
So, they've just got to be, and I'm not saying anything that they don't know. It doesn't take a genius to say, hey, you know what? We've got to stop letting Pastrnak get those breakaways. Right. We'd probably be better off if we didn't.
Yeah. One of the concepts that I kind of finally made sense to me, and I figured it out listening to Paul Hamilton and you, is the power of the power play and the fact that we're not scoring on the power play. And teams are like, okay, since their power play is of no threat, we'll go ahead and take a penalty. Because what's the consequence? Nothing.
Right. Exactly. And I don't think, you hear a lot of things. They're not puck presence and presence in front of the net. I think the biggest problem with the power play is they can't get in the zone and establish control.
Right.
And until they change the way they're entering the zone, it's going to be tough to establish a power play. Earlier in the season, they were doing pretty well on the power play. They were getting people in front of the net. I mean, Jason Zucker had how many power play goals in the first part of the season? It's just I think they've gotten kind of formulaic on their zone entry, and I think that's where the problem might be. But then again, they've got guys who are much smarter than me analyzing all this.
Yeah, but if they've been scored in 30 power plays, it doesn't take an analyst to figure out, okay, maybe do something a little different. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 0 for 30.
They're 0 for 31 since March 31st, so maybe they should take some suggestions from outside the room. But it's also important not to. No one thought they were going to sweep the Bruins, so they're going to lose some games in this series. It's important not to hit the panic button from a fan's perspective, but more importantly, in the locker room. And I don't think they are at all. I think they're going in confident, and now they've just got to figure out who's going to give them the best chance of winning
on the goal
in net.
Right.
I mean, one train of thought says get UPL back in there, get him back on the horse, and build his confidence back up. The other train of thought is, well, Lyon played pretty well in his relief on game 2. Maybe you give him a shot. He hasn't had a lot of playing time in the last month or so because of the injury. But
do we have time for one quick question that I have?
We've got all kinds of time.
What happens when they're going for a score and a bunch of the players fall into the net and it knocks it off? Does that play stop? Because what if the net's gone? How do we know necessarily if the puck went in?
Well,
it's got to cross the line.
If the net is knocked off before the shot's taken,
yeah,
that's typically no goal.
What about if there's a scrum going on and the net somehow? Because that happened, and I'm like, the net's gone and the puck still could be under them.
Yeah, does that count? Once the net comes off the moorings, typically. Now, if a goalie knocks the net off after the shot's going, if the shot's going to be going in, a lot of times the referees will make a judgment call and say that's a goal. But if there's a scrum in front, the net comes off, and then the puck's knocked in, the play's dead.
Got it. Okay.
So,
all right.
But
thank you.
Just listen for the whistle. Once the whistle goes, the play's dead.
Okay.
Whether it goes in the net or not.
Okay.
So, all right.
Huh.
Well,
there's so much that I'm learning.
Yeah, there you go. Sabres are on the ice in Boston. The Bills will be on the clock in Pittsburgh tonight. The first pick in the 2026 NFL Draft is today. They're currently slotted at number 26, and this year's draft class isn't considered a clear-cut group of first-rounders, even beyond the top of the draft, I should say. And with the Bills having multiple needs to address, it makes preparation even more complex. When they're on the clock with just 8 minutes to decide, the question becomes, do they go for a wide receiver, a linebacker, pass rusher? How about a lineman? Who's on the board still? We talked to the Bills' Brandon Beane earlier this week about that concept and how the outlook is.
I would say, as I sit here right now, I mean, we'll try to continue to put pieces and keep your ear to the ground around the league. I feel like I'll know a little more before we get to Thursday, let's say Monday. But sitting here today, it's clear as mud.
All right, our Nate Mills and NFL insider Vic Carucci will be live from One Bills Drive later today to give you up-to-the-minute updates from Orchard Park. Now,
who do you have on your mock draft, Pete?
I've got no one on my mock draft. I do not pay much attention, as you well know.
I know.
It's one of those things when the Bills, it's typically a surprise for me. Oh, they picked this guy. The analysts, the people who know football will tell me if it's a good pick or not.
It's an A, B, C, or D, the draft grades. I mean, I'll usually follow those. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, the pick I did hear comes tonight right after 11 p.m. Usually that's when the 26th. So the Sabres game should be over. So you don't get lost in all sorts of sports stuff going all at once.
Yeah, so you don't stay up late unnecessarily like in years
Oh my
past.
gosh! Remember, was it 2 years ago with
2 years
Coleman?
ago.
They traded out and they didn't pick until Friday morning.
Yes, and that is
or Friday night.
That is a possibility because, as we said, Brandon Beane has already said that at least half of the guys in the first round don't have first-round grades.
Right.
So, we'll have to see. I mean, speculation is that the Bills are going to draft out, but as you pointed out earlier, you need two to tango. So who's going to want to trade up with this year's draft class?
Right.
We will have to see. And the smart guys out at One Bills Drive will have more on that coming up later on. But we're going to take a quick break right now, and we'll be back with more Daybreak Plus. It is 9:23, and we're celebrating Western New York in the Market Arcade 8. It's officially back in downtown Buffalo, the movie theater, under new ownership. And they had a grand opening and ribbon cutting yesterday. Daybreak's Kevin O'Neill is there this morning to show us what's new.
I talked to Joe off the air, and you said the bones of the structure are good.
Yeah, this theater was in great shape. It was remodeled heavily 8 years ago, and I have to say thanks and kudos to Benchmark Management Group. They are the best landlord I've ever worked with. So, they really are invested heavily in this theater, invested in Buffalo, and they wanted to see this theater open, the last great missing piece in the theater district. and they did everything they could to get us open on time.
Why didn't it work before? Why is it going to work now?
Well, it's going to work now because we book it, differently. We don't book by an algorithm, just a computer picking movies or AI picking movies just to show in the theater. So it's got a personal touch. Like I said, on Mother's Day weekend, we're going to be showing Serial Mom and Mommy Dearest.
Right, themes.
Yeah. Well, a lot of theme stuff. In October, we do our very popular Hitchcocktober film series. In July, we do July with James Bond. So we'll have James Bond movies playing all through July. And it's just augmenting stuff like that into the product mix that makes us stand out.
Buffalo movies go on yesterday, too. So you have a passion for the movies, and you've had it since you were 14.
Yeah, since I was 14. I started selling popcorn in a movie theater. Yeah.
And you're the guy. You're the owner.
I am.
You're not some big corporation. You're Joe.
No, yeah. That's it. And I'll be here quite frequently, and everybody can just pop in and say hi.
And you have theaters in Manhattan and Aspen and other cities as
I do.
well.
Yeah, we have 10 locations in 5 states.
But what I like about you, again, I get sort of spoiled by going to the theater now, but you have all the amenities. You've got the reclining seats and everything.
Heated recliners.
Oh, heated recliners.
Yeah, real butter on fresh hot popcorn. Our popcorn's never served out of a warmer. We do have gourmet popcorn that we have caramel, Oreo, and cheddar.
Oh, there you go.
We have some great hot food selections. I was told something about pizza logs, so we had to serve pizza logs. I also have Loganberry on my soda fountain over there. And once we get our liquor license, we'll have some Loganberry themed beverages as well.
Buffalo people love Buffalo stuff. There's no substitute for going to the movies.
No, there's no substitute for going to the movies. People still love that out-of-home experience. And as long as we have movies that, showing exclusively in theaters where people can't see them anywhere else, they will come out and they will flock to theaters. As Super Mario just proved, it was packed. Project Hail Mary, packed.
But the website?
The website is www.scene1ent.com.
Excellent. Good luck with everything. And again, you go out, step outside another movie theater in the burbs, and you walk outside, and you've got a plaza there or a mall. Here you walk outside, downtown Buffalo, Theater District, lots of pubs and restaurants within parking distance. On your side in the Buffalo Theater District, I'm Kevin O'Neill, Channel 2 News.
All right, very good.
Did he say that they were going to play Happy Mother movies or just mothers as a theme?
Theme mothers.
Okay.
Mommy Dearest is not a happy mother.
No.
Movie. So
I mean,
to this day, I don't have a wire hanger anywhere in my house.
And that image of Faye Dunaway, done with playing Joan Crawford in that white makeup, yelling at her daughter, "No wire hangers!" Until to this day, is chill making.
We've covered a lot of cinematic ground.
We have.
We started out this morning with grizzly bears.
Yes. Well, yesterday we were on Caddyshack for a bit. Oh, but that's a daily thing.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. Of course, we'd be talking about Caddyshack, but that's a great addition. I mean, it was sad when it closed.
Yeah,
and now
no
it's
kidding.
Coming back, so
it's going to add to that area and get people downtown, and it's awesome.
Imagine that, a movie theater in the theater district.
In the theater, right?
Cool. All right, new this morning, sign of spring. The Maid in the Mist is getting ready to set sail for the season. The iconic boats return to the Niagara Falls area starting. Niagara Falls area. They return to Niagara Falls starting tomorrow at 9 in the morning. This year marks the attraction's 141st season, and they're going to be doing a special tie-in to America 250, the 250th birthday of the United States. You'll see new logos and designs featured on the boats and throughout the park. The season runs through early November. And we had Bruce Almighty as part of the premiere yesterday at the movie theater, and now we get the Maid in the Mist.
Very cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the classic scenes in that movie.
Yep. So you're live on the Maid in the Mist tomorrow.
Yeah.
Watch your language,
Watch your language. That's right. I need to refresh myself on that. I've seen it twice, but it's been a while. But that's a classic.
It's pretty classic.
I love it when that's where he finds out he didn't get the job, right?
Yes.
And then he loses it.
Yeah,
because he didn't get the promotion.
And he makes Steve Carell say gibberish on the air.
That's right.
You know, kind of like you do to me every morning.
I just type it in the prompter. He'll read it.
That's right. All right. Now we talked about bears. Well, this is what's inspired the bear conversation. A frightening encounter with nature. You can see this tense moment here. A hiker on Mount Wilson in California in the San Gabriel Mountains walks toward a bear, ringing bells. He's thinking, I'm going to scare this bear off. But instead, the bear turns around and charges. Off camera, the hiker slowly backs away while others nearby hide in bushes until it all passes. Everyone made it out safely, by the way, and the man who shot the video says he couldn't believe someone would approach a bear like that.
And to be clear, that is a black bear, even though it looks like a brown bear, which is a grizzly. Mount Wilson is, I mean, you can see it. It's right behind Los Angeles. It's right there. So you don't have grizzlies there. You have brown, but still, brown bears can be, as awesome as they are as a creature, can be intimidating and can, you know, be aggressive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, of course you're going to have bears. I mean, a bear is on the state flag.
On the flag,
you know.
yes.
Is that near the Hollywood Hills?
Kind of. If downtown LA's here, okay, the Hollywood Hill sign's to the right, Mount Wilson's right behind.
I think he was just trying to get a cameo, you know?
Yeah, right.
In the new bear movie where, not in Ontario, where they attack campers.
It's called Backcountry, Rent the Movie. You'll never camp
back
again.
a few hours from Daybreak this morning. All right, have a great day and go Sabres.